Have you ever heard a story so wild, so audacious, that it sounds like pure fiction? Like something out of a movie? Well, what if I told you that in the roaring 1920s, a man actually sold the Eiffel Tower? Not a replica, not a piece of it, but the entire iconic structure. Twice. It sounds impossible, right? How could anyone possibly pull off a scam of that magnitude? Who was this master manipulator? And more importantly, who were the people who fell for it? The answers reveal a timeless truth about human nature, ambition, and the psychology of deception. To understand this incredible trick, we need to go back to Paris in 1925. The Eiffel Tower, while beloved today, wasn't always seen as a permanent fixture. Originally built for the 1889 World's Fair, there were ongoing debates about its upkeep and whether it truly fit into the classic Parisian skyline. It was expensive to maintain, and some even suggested it should be dismantled. This public sentiment, this quiet uncertainty, was the perfect breeding ground for a con man named Victor Lustig. Lustig was an Austro-Hungarian immigrant, a charming and highly intelligent individual, fluent in multiple languages, with a knack for reading people. He wasn't a brute, he was a smoothie, a master of subtle manipulation. Lustig saw a newspaper article lamenting the tower's declining financial viability. He realized he could exploit this. His plan was simple, yet brilliant. He decided to sell the Eiffel Tower for scrap metal. First, he acquired fake government stationery. Then, he invited a select group of Paris's top scrap metal dealers to a highly confidential meeting at an exclusive hotel. He introduced himself as the Deputy Director General of the Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs. Lustig explained that the government had decided, reluctantly, to dismantle the Eiffel Tower due to its prohibitive maintenance costs. He stressed that this was a highly sensitive matter and the public couldn't know yet. The dealers, he claimed, were chosen for their impeccable reputations as honest businessmen. He was playing on their ego and their desire for a lucrative, discreet deal. Among the dealers, Lustig quickly identified his mark: André Poisson. Poisson was an insecure man, desperate to climb the social and business ladder in Parisian society. Lustig knew exactly how to reel him in. He showered Poisson with attention, making him feel like the favored candidate. In a private meeting, Lustig shifted gears. He confessed to Poisson that, despite his important government position, his salary wasn't enough to support the lavish lifestyle he desired. This was the subtle cue: a request for a bribe, disguised as a personal lament. Poisson, blinded by the prospect of owning the Eiffel Tower and the prestige it would bring, eagerly paid the bribe, along with the purchase price for the scrap metal. With a substantial sum of money in hand, around 70,000 francs, a fortune at the time, Lustig vanished to Austria. He fully expected Poisson to be too ashamed and embarrassed to report the scam to the police. And he was right. Poisson remained silent, humiliated by his own gullibility and complicity in what he thought was a corrupt but legitimate deal. This lack of public outcry gave Lustig an audacious idea. Why not do it again? He returned to Paris later that year and attempted the exact same scam on another group of dealers. This time, however, his new mark grew suspicious and reported him. Lustig fled to the United States, narrowly escaping arrest. So, what can we learn from this incredible tale of deception? First, the power of context. The Eiffel Tower's temporary status and maintenance concerns made Lustig's story just plausible enough. Scammers often exploit existing anxieties or desires. Second, human psychology. Lustig didn't just sell a landmark, he sold a dream. He tapped into Poisson's ambition, his desire for status, and his willingness to believe in a secret opportunity. The bribe itself wasn't just about money. It was about making Poisson feel like an insider, a co-conspirator, which then made him less likely to report the crime. And finally, the timelessness of scams. From ancient Egypt to modern cryptocurrency schemes, the core elements remain the same: a charismatic trickster, a vulnerable mark, and the promise of something too good to be true. Lustig's 10 Commandments for con men are still relevant today, highlighting how understanding human behavior is key to deception. The story of Victor Lustig and the Eiffel Tower reminds us that even the most outlandish cons can succeed when they prey on our hopes, our fears, and our desire for a shortcut. It's a powerful lesson that history,
in its own mischievous way, keeps trying to teach us. Always question, always verify. And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe to Humbug History.